Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we are playing Classic Blue-Red Delver. This is the deck that has been on top of the meta for the most part for the past 15 years, and we are playing the classic version with the actual factual Delver of Secrets. We are not playing Cori-Steel Cutter here or really any card advantage shenanigans. We are just trading one for one and hoping that we can get card advantage by ending the game while our opponent still has a bunch of cards in their hand. We have a lot of cards that end the game quickly. Of course, DRC being probably the best one drop ever printed that's still legal in Legacy, and Delver not being too far behind. And then, of course, Murktide, the ultimate finisher. We've got 2 Brazen Borrowers in here, and we have a ton of instants and sorceries so that we can likely flip Delver. We've got 25 of them. We've got 4 Bolts, 4 Dazes, and of course 4 Wasteland. And we're rocking 1 Stifle and 2 Chain Lightnings. These are kind of flex slots. You could really be doing anything here. And then of course we have the 4 Ponder, the 4 Brainstorm, 4 Force of Will. And I'm playing 2 Force of Negation. This seems extreme, but it's a free spell, and really, like when we're trying to protect the queen, we just want to be able to disrupt our opponent long enough to beat them down, and Force Negation is quite good for that. Heaven forbid we ever find ourselves with 3 mana in play. We can cast our Brazen Borrower from exile. We can hard cast Force Negation so we don't have to pitch cast it. But really the goal is to end the game before our opponent even gets to 3 lands, because that's when stuff like Barragoyf starts coming out, or Broadside Bombardiers, really scary stuff starts happening at 3 mana. So we're hoping we can manage that with the Daze, Wasteland, and the 1 of Stifle that'll keep them on their toes. Sideboard is a bunch of blasts. We've got 2 Hydros and 4 Pyros. I think this is really good right now against the Nadu decks. We've got 2 Consigns. Note that all of these are instants and sorceries, by the way. We're not playing Grafdigger's Cage or Null Rod or any of that. I want everything to flip Delver, and I want everything to trigger DRC. So we're playing 3 Surgicals. These are not very good against Oops, but they're great against other graveyard strategies, and it's a free spell. We've got 2 Meltdowns here. There are a lot of graveyard decks going around, and of course, for all the big, dirtily, non-basic land decks, we have Price of Progress. This will often hit for 6, maybe even 8 life, and hopefully get us over the finish line. We're going to play a full 5 rounds as always. See you in round 1. Round 1. This is basically like the dream hand right here. I mean, assuming they don't have Wasteland, this hand is nothing but disruption and a DRC. Our opponent is a likely Doomsday gamer. That means they're probably not going to have Wasteland. Let's keep this. We can do some serious damage to them here, and we have double force if they try to go for early Doomsday. We want to do as much damage as possible before they commit to the Doomsday, because that is effectively doing twice as much damage, because Doomsday they have to pay half their life. Underground Sea. Sure. Ponder resolves. There's a decent chance they Daze, and if they Daze, I'm actually going to force it. I need this in. They are extremely unlikely to have like Fatal Push or anything like that in their deck. We might be able to get a 2 for 1 if they go for... Come on, go for something. Oh, they're not going for anything. All right. I am going to definitely lead with this DRC here. We can force pitching Merc. That's not an immediate concern. So Force Negation is going to be the first thing if they Doomsday. It's going to be 3 for 2. Brainstorm's fine. They could Doomsday right now. Hopefully they do something like Personal Tutor to go get it, just to give us an extra turn cycle to do damage. So Ponder maximizes the likelihood of us being able to get Delirious, but we're not going to get Delirious realistically. I mean, we could Ponder into a second land. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to take that just so I can deploy this. Wasteland is okay, but like I think it's totally fine to deploy another land here. Then we can get Delver, and unfortunately we're not going to be able to set up Delver to flip. If they do something to interact on the stack, we can try to keep it in on top for Delver. Most likely we're just going to be bashing for 1 here though. There is a small possibility that we find a Bauble, and if we find a Bauble, I don't necessarily need to play at the land here. The other option is I just play at the land and I attack, and I don't use this as force fodder. So that way we have 3 points of interaction. And yeah, this Bolt is pretty appetizing. So I don't want the island. I think what I do is I just play the Misty, leave the Bolt on top. That may seem counterintuitive, but we have Delirium next turn, and this will give us mana in case we need to pay for a daze. I would hate for one of our forces to get dazed. So I'm just going to play this out, and I'm going to attack. Next turn we have Bolt, which puts another type in the yard, and does 3 damage to them. And we can follow up with the Chain Lightning. I think we can get there with 1 creature. The risk is that I play out Delver, and then I take us off 3 points of interaction. And Delver doesn't flip, so it doesn't meaningfully change the clock. If we're able to stop even 1 Doomsday, it'll probably be enough for us to win. Because next turn, we're going to have 3 types in the yard. And Chain Lightning might reveal a 4th type. So I think I Bolt and I Chain Lightning. DRC goes through. Opponent's at 19, which is a very healthy life total. Now they're at 18 after that fetch. So they're going to Surveil. We don't have any Surveillance in the deck. And if we get into a fight during their turn, we have Force Negation. So they kept their top card. I think they're going for Doomsday. All right, so I'm going to start with the Force Negation. I'll pitch Merc. We could bin this. I think it's worth it just keeping it around. It's like a time walk basically at this point. I mean, we do have the Chain Lightning and we could Delver next turn. We could also just Chain Lightning. Yeah, I think I'll just put it in my graveyard. All right, and they didn't have any resistance to that. So they could have another one. All right, and I don't want to draw this island, so I'm going to go ahead and fetch Instep. I'll just get another Volk. I actually only have 5 fetchables in the entire deck. I wanted to play a lot more fetch lands because they fill up the yard and give us. So we're still going to have 2 points of interaction even after we bolt them. And I'm just hoping that we find an artifact or a creature along the way that we can bin here. That's perfect. Let's go ahead and do it. That is going to go into our graveyard. We don't need more land. It is another Doomsday. Okay, they may have known they had that coming. So I definitely want to keep up these cards. I'm going to go ahead and bolt them now. Borrower, I think we just bin it. It's yet another type. They could Merc, but we'll force that. I think we're looking for, what are we looking for? We're looking for more dazes. If they still had the second bolt, they could have sent it back at our DR. All right. So we've got 2 points of interaction for their Doomsday here. They're 12 life. We get a card. It's a Wasteland. That's good because we can keep them even lower resource now. We'll see if they have another land. Okay, they're passing. This is good for us. I'm going to waste. I'm going to go ahead and go in for a hug first. I think it's correct to waste now because if we wait, we could be turning on like, yeah, I don't know what they would have at instant speed here. They might try to do a cantrip or something. They didn't even float. So now they're going to need another mana source to Doomsday again. And even then, we've got days. And if they don't, we've got another Wasteland, which is great. Black mana. Double black. Cabal Therapy, or Cabal Ritual. I think I'm just going to daze this. Because it's going to be very hard for them to get the Doomsday mana up. Our graveyard is stacked if we ever draw a Merc. But I wouldn't necessarily... Yeah, I'd probably deploy a Merc if it doubles the claw. Okay, they're passing to the next phase. All right, now we're going to waste that, and that should be the ball game. All right. Just like we drew it up, Pyroblast answers Murktide. Yeah, I think we bring all these in. I think we cut the bolts. I just don't think they're going to hit anything. These hit Tamio in either of her states. I could leave 2 in. Stifle's good here. Force Negation's great, so we'll leave that. I think those are the only changes. I don't like bringing in Consign. It's too narrow. Let's go. And bringing in Surgical in this is a trap. It's not. Counter the first Doomsday and then Surgical it. And yeah, like in theory, it's great. In practice, it's super clunky. Note that I am leaving the borrowers in. A lot of times they're going to be like Dark Ritualing or using Petals to cast their Barragoyf. And then we can just bounce the Barragoyf back. Brazen Borrower is so good. And I see a lot of tempo players only play 1. I feel like it's not a flex slot. Like I feel like you should play 2. It's correct 2 in your tempo decks and maybe more. I played 4 in my blue-white tempo deck and it was pretty strong, but I'm sure there's a better thing to do than play Brazen Borrower 3 and 4. I just couldn't figure out what it was. The fact that it's a blue card for a force and it can come in and finish off an opponent. Let's say hypothetically they do have a Fatal Push for our DRC. Yeah, very flexible tool. Into the game 2. By the way, this is like the dream matchup for Delver, I think. This is a pretty bonkers hand. If they turn 1 Doomsday, that's seriously a problem, but that's rare. They're fetching, probably just a cantrip. Nothing to worry about. Okay, Island. Okay, good. Yeah, it's just a cantrip. So I can DRC, and then I can bobble, and then we have days up, and like, if they try to counter our DRC, I am going to daze. Don't know that they do. DRC is just so good with bobble. Like, it's going to give us so much selection. Force! What a freaking rip. This card is just so cracked, so good. All right, now we can bobble. This is what I like to call the God hand. When you just like are immediately able to put this to use and dodge some random card that you don't want, and then just draw through it and get closer to Delirium. Next turn we ponder. Yeah, you can have your Thassa's Oracle there. I love it when my opponents that are playing combo decks draw their combo pieces that are just supposed to be like retrieved from their deck, not drawn. Okay, double days. I don't know how we lose this one. Ponder's fine. We're saving our interaction for their big spells. A lot of people are like, oh, days, well, you can. But I don't feel that way. I feel like days just, it does get worse as the game progresses, but you can almost always convert it meaningfully. All right, Pyro is insane too. Let's go ahead and I am going to play the Ponder here off of the land. I know I could draw a Wasteland, but I want to make sure I have Pyro and like in addition to all this. So what we're trying to bin is a creature or an instant. And we've got lots of both. All right, we'll just bin this land. And I'm just going to keep, well, we'll see what we get off this Ponder first. Yeah, this is a shuffle. All right, Merc. It's not terrible. I mean, we can deploy it next turn. I'm just going to come in. I'm not going to, well, there's not real, like I could deploy this. I mean, if I deploy this, I still got 3 points of interaction. I think it's probably correct to go ahead and deploy this. Yeah, because we have the Merc. I don't want to use my Merc. It's not going to be good here. I am going to play this out. And then there's a high likelihood we counter something and we can just probably get Delirium and set up a flip. If we find like a Brainstorm or like a Bolt or really anything, we can, yeah, it's going to be good. 2 mana in the pool. I don't care about this at all. They get some card selection. We're going to be flying in a second, so I don't care if... I could technically Pyro just to ensure that I flip this. I think that might actually be worth doing if they don't give me something to daze here. I mean, it's pretty weak, though. And they actually kind of want it in their graveyard. It's harder for them to win. I think I'm going to hold it and just be patient. Bobble. We're not going to reveal it. Let's see if we can put an instant in the graveyard. If we can't, I think I just bin it. And then I just swing for 3. Wait, if I just leave it. No, if I bin it, then I need to bin it. All right, and then what I'll do is I'll do what's called the bobble trick, and I'll bobble myself next turn so I can flip this. Again, I want to keep all my interaction up. I've got Blast, I've got Daze Protection, and Double Daze. Like, they're not getting a Doomsday through this. And then next turn, we hit them for 6, assuming that this... If I just show them my hand, that's totally fine. They're not going to navigate through all this. They would need a lot of mana. They'll almost certainly take the Force, but now they have to deal with Double Daze. So they would need like a Dark Ritual. And again, if they flip, they're going to drop pretty dramatically. Wow, they have a lot of mana though. So it does make our days pretty bad. They have to do a Jace win because unless they have some way of like killing this, or they're playing a second Oracle. And if they're doing a Jace win, Daze is very relevant, so is Pyroblast. Thassa can't be countered through the cavern, but Jace can. All right, so let's go ahead and just bobble ourselves here. Okay, so Ponder's on top. So we want the DRC trigger to go on the stack after. So bobble, then DRC reveals the Ponder, and then we draw the card. And what a card it is, Ponder. Great mid-game treat for our deck. We get it, and we get an extra card too. Another DRC. Sign me up. I think we just go ahead and just drop it. Like, it puts them on a 2-turn clock. Yeah, so they're dropping a 9 here, and then next turn they're dropping a dead. They're going to need a miracle here. Like, we'll just fly right over a Beargoyf. They could Merc. I think Merc's probably their best bet, but then I can just play my own Merc. And when I play my Merc, Actually, you know what? The Merc doesn't actually do it. Because I just swing with both. And then I swing again. And then I'll have lethal going through. Because they'll drop to 3 through Merc. Oh, I can just Pyro Merc. Yeah, I don't think we have anything to worry about here. They're fetching. Like, if they can do like a one-turn pile, but I don't think they can do that with Thassa's Oracle out unless they have a second Oracle. Okay, Dark Writ. Shielder doesn't do it either, if that's what you're thinking. Cabal Ritual. Okay, they give One Ring. That's one thing they could do here. They have 7 mana. Bolas' Citadel. Okay, this deck. This deck. Okay. They're going to try to Tendrils us. That's fine. This is a really cool, like Salvatore X. He did it like a league with this. This is a cool deck. But he's got 0 cards in hand. What's his top card? He has to pay life to use it. And it's probably just like a land or something. He's already made his land drop. He can sacrifice 10. Yeah, that's not going to happen. And it wouldn't matter. I've got tons of life. Like his top card would have to be Doomsday. And even if it was, I double days, he has no mana left, and then he dies. Okay. Yeah, again, like that's like the 70-30 matchup. I think that's one of the best matchups for our very anti-combo deck. See you in round 2. Our round 2 opponent was trophied with this awesome list. Sweet looking. So it's got Dryad Arbor. Like the core of the deck is White of the Reliquary, Evolution Sage, which whenever a land enters the battlefield, and then Icetail Explorer. Wait, why Proliferate? What does that do here? Am I missing something? They don't have like the Sithcat Cub or anything. Township. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. I'm not sure how they trophied with this, frankly. Like, it's got Zern Orb to gain life. You can gain infinite life or near infinite life. Icetail Explorer. There's a Green Sun Zenith deck. I hope they're playing this. I want to play against this. It's not a great matchup for us. Let's take a look at our opener here. This does not do much. It's a 3-lander. We can bobble ourselves and decide whether we want to keep. Like, I'm just afraid that we're going to draw more lands. This does answer like an early creature. Stifle can answer a fetch, and we can fill up and Merc. It's not going to be a huge Merc. I'm going to keep this, though. Like, I can understand mulliganing this for sure, but we get a draw, and yeah, we just don't know what we're up against, and I don't want to mull too deep. They look like a fair gamer. Okay. Catacombs, don't crack that. Just wait. You can end step. Oh, no. Cries and Stifle. Oh, Sylvan Safekeeper. Okay, well, I can bolt that. I think I will. Oh. If we wait a turn, we could bolt. And I can also see what... I think I'm going to see what's on top of my deck to see whether I want to keep it. I definitely want to keep that. So I'm going to play this out, and I could definitely... Well, this gives us lots of optionality, but I'm definitely drawing that Brainstorm. Like, that Brainstorm puts at least one of these lands back. All right, so we get our card. I would love to Stifle a fetch here. Oh, no! The Hatchery. They can sacrifice this. This is a combo. Yeah, I don't have much recourse here. I think I should take the damage because they can just tap this and then sacrifice it and get a creature to replace. Yeah, let's see what they do. I mean, keeping them low resource might be worth it. The other alternative is we just wait and we Brainstorm back and we just hold with Stifle for subsequent lands. I think that's fine. So I'm going to draw a land here. Okay, now it's definitely Brainstorm time. Let's go ahead and Brainstorm first. I didn't need to play that because they don't have days. But I'm almost certainly going to shuffle. All right, so I think I just go ahead and Brainstorm now. See what I find in case I find like a Delver or something. So unfortunately... I'm screwed because of this thing. So I could bolt this now. They sack. And we're just still in the situation where we can't interact with this Bowmasters. I think we just lost the game, frankly. I'm going to just play it out. Yeah, I'm going to play it out. We're just going to take a bunch of damage here. But like this ensures that we just can't do anything about this. And they're going to have tons of flyers. This is a bad matchup for sure. I can feel it. And unfortunately, Force Negation just poorly lined up. This is our turn anyway, so we wouldn't have been able to cast it even if it... Okay. So we could have like timed that better, I guess. But I just wanted to get like a DRC down. And if we do find DRC, I mean, we're like one type away. But I'm pretty sure we're going to need a big Merc to save us here. And it's going to take a long time to save us. Oh, wow. Double bolts. So we could do a lot of damage to them. I'm going to put these back. I'm just going to trust they're not going to waste us. And maybe they'll waste. Yeah. So we're going to take some bolts here. Or we're going to take a bolt's worth of damage. And then we're going to also have this giant. I think this game's over. Like, I don't have this situation with this. This is too strong. Even if I bolted it immediately, I don't think it would have worked. I think I'm going to scoop. All right. So we don't have... I thought about playing End the Festivities. Really cool card that just like does 1 to all the creatures. That would have been insane here. Yeah. Definitely something to consider. I don't think any of these sideboard cards matter, though. So I think we're just going to go back in, and we're going to hope that they don't have that creature that negates all our removal. Like the chain lightnings, everything's good. Now that we know that they are almost certainly on that deck that we saw, we can mulligan with more confidence. And we're going to be on the play, which will be nice. We've been on the draw both of these games. Both of these matches so far. All right, this is a banger hand. So I'm just going to drop Delver. I could go ahead and get an island. But if they want to waste us, that's okay. Yeah, because I want to be able to brainstorm shuffle next turn. So this is a snap keep. And we just have to hope to flip this before the Bowmaster start arriving. Bowmaster becomes a huge problem. They're mulling to 6. But with all those flying creatures that they're going to get off of the hatchery, it is going to be difficult to get through with our flyers. They could also be playing Fatal Push in addition to Bowmaster. Because they have the hatchery, I wasn't thinking like, oh, we should bring in Price of Progress. Because I think likely they're destroying their own lands. And also if I priced previously, like, yes, I'm certainly going to take our Brainstorm here. That sucks. I can waste this out of the way, and they may not have more mana, but that does create a creature that can block. We have to get lucky here and flip. Wow, they took that? Okay. So that tells me they probably don't have a Delver. Or they probably don't have a Bowmaster. Yeah, I'm not going to Desperation Brainstorm here. We've got a 45% chance, I think. 42, 43%. With our 25 instances of sorcery. It's not going to be exactly that because we already had 2 of them in our hand. But actually, it might be slightly higher than that because it's only 2 out of Flooded Strand. No, I'm not going to reveal that card. That is unfortunate. Okay, so I think I just need to... I'm going to go ahead and Brainstorm now. Days would be great. Stifle might actually be good. So I'm going to put 2 lands back. I'll play this out. I'll attack for 1. What I'm hoping to do is stifle one of their lands and then waste the other. But it's worth another risk of Delver not flipping to get rid of those 2 lands that we drew. One of the biggest things that Brainstorm does is just fixes your lumpy land draws. So we could stifle... I mean, we could technically stifle this going to the graveyard if we need to, if they like try to sack it somehow. And that keeps 2 of these off the table, which 2 of them is exactly how many they need to profitably... I'm hoping to just stifle a fetch, though. Wasteland. Cabal Therapy. They know what's in our hand. So frustrating. I think we just have to fetch. They're going to name Merc here. But then they're going to see the... they might think that we put back the Merc. Why would they name anything else, though? I could just bolt them now. I don't think they're going to name Bolt. But it is scary because they're going to see our hand. They're going to sack this. Maybe they could waste this themselves. Yeah, I'm going to let them... They're going to see the Stifle, but they're not going to be able to do anything about it. Like, if they waste one of my lands, I'll just let it happen. What I'd like to do is waste this and stifle the trigger so they don't get creatures. I don't care if they name Merc. He was a ways off. And frankly, he's just walled by this. They named Lightning Bolt. Okay, that's fine. So now I need to wait till upkeep. And now I can fetch. Because I definitely don't want those lands. So I am going to be able to actually Merc in a turn cycle. I mean, I could technically waste and then Merc. That might be actually worthwhile. Come on, flip. It does not flip. And we're not that far away from being able to use it, though. So we'll draw it. This is their last window to waste if they want to waste. I guess the question is, I think we just play at the DRC and we chill. I'm going to go ahead and attack. They said, interesting sub-game. Agreed. I'm not going to waste this. I'm going to make you waste your own thing to get creatures later. Wasteland, Stifle, Murktide. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be patient. That's my MO, is to be extremely patient and not blow it. Yeah, they're like, right. Coming for 1. If you want, you could create a dude, but I will stifle that trigger if you want. They are thinking out loud, which is either way, you don't Murktide this round. I'm not going to Murktide. That's not my intention. I'm just going to drop this DRC. The dramatic irony is they don't know about DRC. All right, so my opponent is theory crafting here. I waste. If you waste, that would be dumb. I would just waste this, and then I would stifle the trigger. Delver does not die. Delver does not die. I can stifle this trigger. But please, by all means, attempt that. But they are saying they love Legacy because of the depth. And this I will 100% co-sign. Like, you don't get game states like this in like Modern, I don't think. Because Wasteland is such an intricate high skill card. Brainstorm's a high skill card. Stifle's a high skill card. Cabal Therapy is like the highest skill card, basically. Like being able to like soul read and know what your opponent's on. All right, we're just going to play this dude. And we'll just chill. And we're going to hope that they don't have an Orcish Bowmaster. All right, so you get another turn. You get another thing on tick on the... They said, I realized you could stifle hatch. Yes, that was what I was thinking, but I didn't say it. If you ever are playing against me in paper and I start thinking out loud, it's because I'm trying to trick you. Because I never think out loud when I'm playing in paper. I'm just very silent. Okay, this gives them a free plant. I love this deck, by the way. This is like, I built a deck that was like this, but it wasn't very good, unfortunately. Okay, so they're therapying, naming that. I'm just going to give it to them. That's a cool like little combo, what they just did. If they want to get my... They chose Stifle, that's fine. Now they can waste to keep me off Merc. But Merc is not what I'm trying to do. Okay. They know my hand now. There's no bluffing here. Okay. So I could easily find a land. And I don't even care about this Merc. Again, I just want to emphasize. Merc is a card that I'm going to pitch to a force here. There we go. Force negation. Love it. Okay, so... Unfortunately, I'm not able to attack with the DRC yet. They know my hand because I had to reveal this. So, yeah, we're just going to come in for 4 here. It may actually be worth wasting them off this. Just to deny them land. This hurts them. It feels bad to waste that, but I think it is correct. We're all in on these cards. Hopefully, next turn, we get Delirium. Or if they force, like, see, we have everything but, yeah. Okay, they did have another land, and now we're going to get blown out. White is a good card. Searches for lands. They can sack this and create a bunch of blockers next turn. We may actually need the Merc to be able to get over the hump here. All right, let's brainstorm. We can do so safely here. Let's dump a artifact. No! I actually think I need this. We'll see what the rest of the cards are, but I'm not going to dump it. Like, it doesn't serve me any purpose. They are a Wasteland deck. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. All right, I can put back the Merc, and then I'll put back a Force Negation. Now, I'm going to fetch, shuffle. I'll get the other Volk, and I'm going to brainstorm again. And I'm just going to try to spike Delirium so I can get them low. And then they'll be within a bolt range. Because they can sack creatures to go with lands. They can't sack lands. They don't have any other creatures, but once... Okay, sacrifice another creature. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Come on. Show me the artifact / sorcery. We've got a few. We've got total 10 hits. There we go. Graveyard it. All right, 4 card types. Now show me the bolt. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to hide the bolt. They know about force negation. If they therapy me, I definitely don't want them to be able to. So I'm going to put this back. Definitely don't need that. And then I'll draw that. They said, I'm dead. You are. You're almost certainly dead. You can deploy a bunch of blockers. They said, maybe you didn't keep the force. Well, actually, I meant to keep the force. Why is the bolt in my hand? I've screwed up my ponder. What are they going to cast? Like a smallpox or something? They need to gain life, and this bolt does them in. Yeah, they can't Thoughtseize here. I mean, they could Thoughtseize. Yeah, I screwed up. I definitely needed to keep... I think I meant to put this back along with the Merc. Life from the Loam. Yeah, that's fine. So this is just a 2/2. They're 2 life. Am I missing something? Is there something they can do with 1 mana? They said, hey, probably have Bolt anyways. Yeah, I do. Thankfully, you don't have any therapies. Yeah, cool. So now they got their creatures. They can white to go get a land to gain some life, but I don't think there's any. And then I'm going to wait till their turn to bolt them. I'll just attack with all, and then I'm going to wait till their turn to bolt them so I can have force negation up just in case they can somehow interact. So this is a force block. They can only kill 1 of them. Okay. They can sack 1, but you wouldn't want to do that because then it doesn't. Okay, yeah, that one makes sense to sack. We'll see what they get here. Saga's fine. I don't know what they could do at this point. Well, tapped out. I'm just going to go ahead and bolt. All right, that was close. Okay, do we see anything that changes anything? No. No, I don't think surgical is correct here. I think we just run it back. Yeah, that's how Delver gets you. It's just like you don't even notice and your life is like at 3 because they're just sailing over you, hitting you, and you're trying to like enact some sort of game plan, but you've just got this brutal clock. You may be wondering, okay, why are we not playing Cori-Steel Cutter? That card's cracked. Well, it doesn't have any evasion. And like Cori-Steel Cutter is not going to do a lot when you have an opponent that has cards like White of the Reliquary and stuff like that. All right. Game 3, we have an insane hand. Absolutely insane. This is like the best. The absolute best type of hand you can have. So what we're going to be able to do is fetch, DRC, bobble. Oh, Mox Diamond. That makes our dazes less good. They're fetching. Don't loam. Do not. Okay. That's annoying. We're going to have to figure out a way to get through that. Oh, well, we could just bolt it. I kind of think it's just worth bolting because they're low resource here. I want to bolt before this gets big. Yeah, I'm going to take a turn off to bolt it. And then if they have... Yeah, I'm going to do this. We have days up, but like almost certainly they're going to... If they have loam, we're just so screwed. We are gearing up for a pretty big Merc, though, if they don't like wipe our graveyard. Don't do it! No! Oh my goodness, this is death. There's no way we're coming back from loam. They can waste lock us. I can't daze this. I'm not going to waste it. Or I'm not going to daze it. I'm going to convert daze on some other spell later. Okay, they're surveilling. It's just a matter of time before they find waste. They kept. All right. Chain Lightning. So I'm going to go ahead and just DRC first. And we're going to go ahead and bobble them. Actually, I don't know that it matters to bobble them. I think it's better to bobble ourselves. And then we can decide whether to fetch now or fetch later. Well, I don't think that really helps that much. We've already got one in hand. I want to bin it. I think one of the ways we win now is we do a quick Merc for momentum. And it's not going to matter until next turn, but like I definitely don't want... They could... Yeah, I want to get this big enough that it can't get killed by a Bowmaster. So I am going to bolt, so I might as well look at their top card. It's another white. I mean, this cleanly deals with that. Maybe I do want to just fetch Ponder here and hope we hit... Because if I get this up to 3/3, then we don't have to worry about Bowmaster. Into the graveyard. All right, we're big enough. I think we keep the force negation, then we can hit the... If they do that. So we don't want this daze. We do want the bolt. I should have sequenced differently. That way when I force negation, if they loam, they may just play the white that they're about to draw. So we're going to be hitting them for a lot. And it's worth noting that I can still play on a Merc without losing Delirium because I have such variation in my graveyard. Oh no, I was going to draw off the... So I definitely did it right. Now I can force pitch Daze. They got a Hatchery in there too. And a Caracas. Caracas doesn't do anything against us, but it might be good for, like, they have some sort of legendary creature loop. They said, I forgot I left that on top. Time to focus up. Well, why don't you loam so I can counter that and get rid of the Daze on top of my deck. That's a great place to start. Okay, they're fetching. We can do so much direct damage to them. Try it over. Okay, what does this do? Whenever you sacrifice an artifact or creature, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Sacrifice an artifact, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Okay. I am not convinced that this is a good card. But it is a 1/1 creature that has text. So for 1 mana. They could sack this, but they have to pay mana to sack. It's not like this is like an immediate sack outlet, like that zombie dude that people play in their zombie stacks that can like immediately sack. Or like, oh, this is not good. This is not good. Yeah, and I can't daze this. Okay, what's out? It is out. So Murktide, I think we hit them and then we Murk and then we have to fly over. I do want to counter this. I want to get rid of that Daze. It sucks to do this, but I think it's correct. It puts another type in the guard. Or it doesn't put another type, but it puts 2 instants in the yard. They said, wow, yes. Don't want you dredging. I'm going to be taking 8 next turn. Never had Loam get for 0 force. Well, I take Loam very seriously. And also, I don't want to draw this Daze. So we can have our own 8/8. But again, we lose. If we make an 8/8, no, we don't, because we can just bolt and chain lightning. So I think what I do now is I swing, and then I Murk, and I can Murk my entire graveyard away, and then I have bolts and Murk to finish. So I think this will work out fine. Assuming they don't have a way to kill our Murk. What is this text? Sacrifice a creature, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and Murk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They said mine is bigger than yours. Is it? I don't think it is. I think they're the same size. So next turn, all we need to do is bolt them, and then this is 9/9, and they're going to take a tremendous amount of... So these 2 creatures can't attack. They can attack with Hogaak. That's fine. This is a trampler. Again, if they're able to kill this, then it's anybody's game. It's probably their game. Them wasting me is not enough. They'd have to waste me twice. Okay, so they're coming for 8. We'll pass the turn. Master me. What is this? Okay, they're just drawing a card and putting a +1. 16. Yeah, we're still going to kill them here. Unless they have something in their hand like... Okay, that doesn't change it. Zern Orb. Oh my goodness. They can survive, I think. They're just... Oh, they have another Loam? Okay, that's fine. I mean, it doesn't change anything right now, but... All right, let's think about this. We could brainstorm into another Merc. We kill this. I mean, we might be able to get big enough to kill this, actually. So they could sack that. I could bolt it. Let's think about this. I think the first order of business is brainstorm. That gives me Delirium. That can go in the graveyard. Okay. Wasteland is not a good card. DRC number 2 is actually not... Oh, Borrower. We can just borrow this out of play. They don't have a Wasteland to kill this. They kill it with Zern Orb. Yeah, I think we just attack with everything and then we bounce this out of play when they try to cast it. And they can cast it again, but they're dead too. They're probably going to sack this and make the dude immediately. Okay, so I'm going to play out the island here. And we'll just hold the bolts for next, like, to clear the path. Like, I think they're going to go ahead and do this to block this. So I don't want the Wasteland ever, maybe. I don't think it's good. And I can hide one of the bolts. No, wait. If I don't want the Wasteland, I just put it on top because I'm going to bounce so then I can bin it. Okay. Let's put the chain lightning or the lightning bolt back and then the Wasteland on top. Okay, now I'm going to play this. Attack with all. So they just have a land in hand. I think they're going to go ahead and make a dude just to absorb some of this damage. If they wait and make 2 dudes, that's bad. Thankfully, this doesn't say whenever you sacrifice a land. I just want to read the flavor text on this. Nope, no monsters in the forest. Nothing can hear but squirrels. And of course, the squirrels are like putting the monsters into the tree and stuff. It looks like a human and the snakes and everything. They're just like squirreling them away. Like the squirrels are the monsters. All right. And like, I'm not a Delver expert. If I'm missing some like key lines or something, let me know. Tech it home. You're at 4 life. I've got double bolts. But you're about to gain a lot of life. Let's see what they do. Sylvan Safekeeper. Well, that's not fun. Got to bounce that out now. Yeah, I think this card is the bane of my existence. My goodness, this card is so annoying to play against when you're up against like Nadu and stuff. All right, so we don't have to take 8 this turn, but we are going to take, a lot. The fact that they have the hatchery, like they tap that, they take 1. Then they have lots of blockers in the air. I don't know that we can win because they can just recast this dude, but they do have to tap their stuff to cast it. And I could, in theory, like hold back Merc and just swing in a couple times. I could actually play a DRC. I can't play a DRC and double bolt them, but I could bolt them and play another DRC. And then like Merc just trades and buys us a turn. Zernor being a very powerful game piece here. I haven't seen that card in a long time. I remember when Ice Age came out when I was a kid. I was like, this card's cracked. 0 mana and you could just stay alive forever. What I didn't realize was, you're just like prolonging a losing game because you're sacrificing all your resources. You're not going to be able to do anything for the rest of the game. There's a small possibility that like we draw bolt, we bolt them, we could double trigger and maybe fill up our yard and find another Merc and then have a giant Merc. But like we're going to have to take out that Hogaak. So they can attack here for 2 or even 3 if they want to pay a bunch of... No, wait, they don't pay. They just pay 1 life. They gain a life when they activate this. So they could sacrifice this. But currently they have 4 on, but they actually have 8. They are attacking. Okay, they're paying... What is this? They're just activating it. So they're doing an extra damage to us. They're gaining a life. So one interesting thing is they can sacrifice that to the squirrel. Oh, wow. They found Witherbloom. And they found this, which can give them a creature as well. They've got 2 blockers here. I think we need to... No, we're not going to get them in a situation, I don't think, where we can get through. Oh, they're doing the hatchery now. Okay. They gain 2 life. And now they can just use these to repick. They do have the graveyard. Oh, now, since they're tapping that, I can just bolt one of these, and then I should be able to attack through. I don't think they'll be able to absorb enough damage. Okay, so let's see how much damage do we need to do. Oh, they can sacrifice to give it. And we're not going to be able to block this. So they can 4 life, but they can only... Okay. So this is definitely going to be able to block this, is what I'm reading. And then we bolt twice. So we attack, they drop to 3. Okay, let's think one more time. We attack. They'll almost certainly block here. If they don't, we've got 3. We could potentially block this. They have no graveyard. They have no loam. I don't think the loam is back in their hand. Said if you have 2 bolts, it's not enough. So one option is we just DRC. We bolt. We get to double select. Next turn, they will have another blocker. The other option... like, let's say hypothetically they didn't block with this, but why wouldn't they block? I do need to keep this back, though. That is definitely happening. We're not going to kill them this turn cycle. So my instinct is to go ahead and play a DRC and then go ahead and chain lightning them. This will potentially trade with one of their attackers or at least block it. So we get double trigger. We're looking for another Merc, but I think it's probably too late. Yeah, what could we find? There's nothing that can get stuff out of our graveyard. That goes in the graveyard. Is this good? I don't think it's good enough. I'm not sure what it would stop. It could stop a squirrel. It could stop like this, but they have plenty of lands. If they draw another land, it's going to be really hard to kill them. Let's see what we draw here. Like a Wasteland? That wouldn't be good. Drop to 3. Okay, we're going to come in for 3. They're just going to block. So next turn, we block here. We take a lot. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that trades with that. And they can recast this, but they need a lot of stuff. If they can get our Murktide out of play, then they win. I don't know if I think I organically drew this. I didn't fetch it, but like this is an example of where like even you can't have too much red mana in this deck. You really can't. Did they draw a land? That's actually the scariest thing they could draw. Maybe. No, there's got to be scarier stuff they can draw. So I believe their hand is just Loam and one unknown. They could sack a land. They could even sack both lands and then Loam. And this is an interesting game for sure. Like regardless of who wins, this has been a very thoughtful game. And our deck is not built, like this is an extremely unfavorable matchup. Our deck is not built to beat decks that are grinding like this. Okay, they're coming in for combat. I presume they're attacking with Hogaak here. They're attacking with everything. Okay, so this represents 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just going to block Hogaak and I'm going to block this. Actually, I kind of want to block this. They can gain a life here by tapping a bunch of mana. And they can do an extra damage and they can draw a card. Okay, so they just sacked the Sylvan Safekeeper. Okay. So we're dropping a 2. They're tapped out. They have a land. They can tap it. They can sack. They're doing that right now. 1 black mana. What is this? Oh, no! Yeah, I think they just won. The reason they just won, unless we draw another bolt, which would be insane, is they can just, like, actually, that Stifle that I binned earlier would have saved the day here. So I think what I have to do here is play this Delver out just as they'll hit us for 1 in the air. They'll be able to Hogaak, I think, because they'll have 1, 2. I think they'll be able to Hogaak again, but that does involve tapping them. Yeah, I have to attack. I'm going to go ahead and attack. And then this sacrifices this. They can loam it back and do this again next turn. So they can basically keep us at bay forever. Oh, no, wait. Wait. No, they can just sacrifice other lands with the ability on the stack. It's not like I can get them with the bolt. Yeah, that sucks. Okay, so they gain some life. They're going to chump here. Are they not going to chump? Okay, they are. Now it's our turn to chump. I can't play this out because it can't block this. The squirrel has gotten very out of hand. Let's play this out. And I'm not crazy, right? They do have loam in hand. So they should be able to just loam the hatchery back and then play it again. That Fatal Push was such a sick rip. That was precisely what they needed to stay in the game. And I don't even think that I'll be able to survive here. Like, I'd need a good top deck. All right, so this is the chump. Sadly, is Loam in exile? No, they still have Loam in hand, I believe. Because I forced 1. That's in exile. But wait, was that this game or last game? They've only got 1 minute left. They are running low on time. Okay, they do have Loam for hatchery. They should have attacked with this, I think. Okay, I can play this out. I'm just going to come in for a hug. I don't think they're going to screw this up. Okay, they've got something that they're casting here. Crop rotation. Can't do anything about this. This is probably getting like, I don't know what it's going to get. Another hatchery? They could do the hatchery and then they could get another dude. Then I could bolt one of them and kill them all. Oh, Cradle? That's not scary at all. Is this Endurance? You got to be kidding me. No, they can't have Endurance. What are they doing? What is all this mana for? Am I missing something? Can they do this without tapping? Oh, they can do it without tapping. Okay, so they get another dude. Nothing I can do about that. Yeah, they have all the tools in their toolbox to beat me, for sure. But what they don't have is time, and I think there's a decent chance they time it. Because I've got the chump lock. They've got 13 seconds. Okay, Urza Saga. Yeah, I wouldn't be playing Urza Saga if I were you. You've got like less than 10 seconds. So I am going to block here. Yeah, my opponent just didn't manage their clock. Can they kill me right now? I think I'm going to play this out. So now I can play this out, but it doesn't save me. I have to attack. Okay, they're going ahead and doing stuff with their life total. It shouldn't matter. Like, I think they are going to run out of clock. I'm not proud to win this way, but it is like a legit way that my opponent's often win. So this is going to trigger. Yeah, and they don't have time to do anything. They're going to go and make a dude, but time's up. Yeah, that was a freaking, like, we definitely should have lost. We would have left if we would have lost had they not run out of time. They just had insane grinding ability, and they had some lucky top decks. We had lucky top decks too, but we were manipulating our draw every turn. So we're 2-0 going into round 3. That was a cool deck, though. I'm glad I got to showcase it on the channel. All right, we're up against my hero, Punishing Waterfalls. I'm not exaggerating. I think he's my favorite brewer. He could be on anything. I'm not going to presume. Most likely on like Wizards. I'm going to mulligan this hand. Yeah, this is a hand that we can keep. I'm going to just put back... I'm going to go ahead and put back the Volk, and I'm going to fetch and Merc, or fetch and DRC. We don't have an immediate ability to use it. The other option is, of course, I could just put out Delver, which has a higher likelihood of flipping. I think that's better because we could just randomly flip it, and that'd be pretty awesome. I'm going to get the Volk. I'm not going to respect Blood Moon. Should I? They have played Moon Stompy before. Okay, I'm going to respect Blood Moon. And they're a very fast player. You'll see them just like make decisions very quickly. They are extremely experienced. Okay, they're on some sort of Affinity card deck, so the decision to get the island doesn't matter. Luckcast, that's very quick. I'm not worried. I think we have a good Affinity matchup. Come on, flip! 45% chance. No, that's not good. All right, well, we will crack in for one here. I'm going to go ahead and brainstorm and put back these 2 marks where we want to be, and then I can drop a DRC. Whoa, scoop! These are great. Put these back. We're just going to go ahead and play out our DRC. And this is the sort of like Delver draw that just like absolutely punishes opponents who can't get off the ground. Like if they dirtle a little bit, they're going to get caught. They may have force in here. If they force, it's not that big a deal. I'll let it happen. I can do it again next turn. It was a 2 for 1. They pitched Lavinia. Scary. Okay, this is scary. This is very scary. Yeah, that's fine. This is kind of annoying because it can like bounce one of our creatures, but it is negative card. -1 card. Yes! Days. All right. So let's go ahead and I'm going to come in for a hug, and they might bounce it right now just to save life. I don't think they will. There's no way that we can bolt this. I'm just going to go ahead and drop my dude. And we're going to pass. And we're going to be taking some big hits. Hopefully they don't have the lifelink spear. Shadow Spear. Scrubland. They're on Esper. Okay, so options. I think the correct thing to do is go ahead and brainstorm first. So we could set up something that we can bend with the lightning bolt. I do want to try to get Delirium because I'm not going to be able to attack in otherwise. Yeah, we can just bend that and then we set up something and we bolt. Well, we already have this. Actually, this is a keep because this deals with one of their things next turn. So Wasteland is a great draw if we can find it. We don't. Okay, so now what I'm going to do are fetch and try to bolt. And I'm just going to use my entire hand here. And then we're going to hope that we can clear one of these and buy enough time to win. They are thinking like they might have another force. They could actually hardcast blue. Yeah, they do have the mana of the hardcast. It would be at a great price, though. I don't think they're going to. They could go ahead and do the, what's it called? Like, I just want to get another Vulcan. I want to get these Illyrius so I can swing in. And then next turn, swing in for 9. And that'll be exactly lethal, unless they have like. But what Punishing Fire is doing right now is tanking on. I mean, this does, like the third Delver, it like totally changes everything, basically. Dramatically changes the clock. Okay, and they opt to let it resolve, which is great for us. Now I'm going to go, like, even if this doesn't resolve, it's not a big deal. We're just trying to get the DRC trigger so we can likely get Delirious here. There we go. Yeah. All right. It's pretty perfect. I don't want this Stifle either. It's just, it's not good enough. Yes. They can see it. It doesn't have a big impact on their... They're going to need Shadow Spear. 100%. Okay, they're going to bounce one of these back to hand. Probably the Delver, or the Delver, I would imagine. They're thinking about it. They go ahead and make their dude. Come in for our hug. They are at 9. We just need a bolt and we can kill them next turn. But even if we just deploy the... again, all this is based on them not having Shadow Spear in their deck, but they probably do. Because they seem to be like heavily affinity oriented. Yeah, there it is. That totally crimps our plans. They are legend rolling this. It costs 2 to equip. Yeah, they're playing this out too. So what we'll do is they're going to gain a burst of life, and then we are going to bounce this out of play. Tamio's annoying too. Yeah, I mean, Tamio, like, but none of this deals with our graveyard, so we're going to still be able to hit for a lot here. Yeah, they're going to hit for 7, and they're going to gain 7. And then we're just going to have to be patient and bounce out the one that the Shadow Spear is equipped to here next turn. Force is fine. I can use Force with Delver. Let's go ahead and come in for attack with taking the 6. Okay, so options. If we play out the Delver, they have 1 card in hand. I am kind of worried that they could have a Force. Also, we play out the Delver. It doesn't necessarily flip. We can just hit him for 6 2 turns in a row. We've got enough life to survive. Next turn. No, we don't necessarily. So let's say hypothetically we play this out. They could potentially flip this with like... there are a lot of things. So we bounce this out of play. We're going to take 5. We're going to take 6 because they're going to create a Tamio clue. And then we can't quite kill them unless we draw a bolt. But Force does increase the likelihood. We have both Brazen Borrower and Force to help us find a bolt. We still have 4 bolts left in the deck. 4 bolts and 48, and we get 4 looks. I think that's okay. I'm going to accept that math. Plus, they have to spend a lot of their mana for this turn. Well, no, they don't actually. So that does more damage than previously. They have to assume that I have like some sort of interaction here. Otherwise, I would have scooped. Okay, that clue is fine. Wait, actually, I shouldn't have let them have that clue. Because they might be able to find graveyard. We're just looking specifically for bolt here, I think. It's not good enough. Because they're going to have Shadow Spear next turn with Trample. Yeah, we have to find the other Brazen Borrower or we have to find a bolt. Meltdown's going to be good. I've got 2 of those in my sideboard. Okay, this is Kappa, which I'll just force. So this gives us more looks. Unfortunately, even if we find bolt, it's not going to be enough now. That goes in the graveyard. Mark isn't going to be enough either, I don't think. Like we get... I mean, this just isn't enough. It's 1 damage shy. Be fine. We find another Brazen Borrower. I think that's the best thing we can find. Murktide would be okay. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at our graveyard. So, 4, 5, oh yeah, we've got plenty. So I'm going to go ahead and come in for everything, and then we're going to Murk. And hopefully 8/8 keeps that back for a turn. It doesn't really, though. Because they're going to create a clue. It'll be 9/1. Yeah, we might actually survive, but they're going to gain a ton of life. So it's not really an answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're keeping the sorcery in the graveyard, so these shouldn't lose Delirium. All right, so that trades with that. No, it doesn't. Because they're going to get an extra 1. So this does 1 damage, and they gain a ton of life. I don't know how we get out of this. I don't think we do. They also have a ton of clues they can crack here. Brazen Borrower is the only answer I can think of. We need to draw it now before they're cracking clues. Oh, wait, what happened? Why did their creature... Oh, when they cracked the clue, it died. Holy cow, that's so good for us. We're so lucky. I'm going to go ahead and attack in all. Oh my goodness, that was so freaking lucky that they punted like that. And now they equip. We just play this out. We can bolt in response. I think we have to bolt in response. We could just bolt now. If we bolt now... Yeah, they use the 2 mana to equip, and then we bolt. I think that's what has to happen. I'm not liking it, because this gives them an opportunity to like potentially draw. We don't want that. We're at 1. We do want this, because this gives us a look. They force. Okay, so we lose, because they can just attack for 1. Make sure this gives +1/+1. Yeah, that's the end of the game. And I didn't have the mana to put this out. This wouldn't have mattered, because it would. Well, actually, it would have. This actually would have saved us, but they would have gotten another clue. So I don't disagree with my line there. It's just unfortunate they had the interaction. Like them cracking that clue, though, was absolutely a punt. So I'm not saying it's a bad matchup. It's not a great matchup, but we do have tons of Pyros here. And I think I'm bringing them in. Cards we don't want. I don't think these Chain Lightnings are particularly good. They do help us get Delirium. Good. It's not a combo. It's like an aggro matchup. Stifle is not good. I mean, Stifle is really just like a fetch land thing. They're not going after our land. We could cut a land and go down to 17. That's risky. I don't want to cut forces. I don't want to cut dazes. We're on the play. It could be that maybe 4. Yeah, maybe it's better than Bolt. Yeah, I'm going to bring in the Pyroblast. It can stop like Kappa on the stack and stuff. Yeah, I'll do that. Oh man, such a freaking honor to play against this guy. Again, like this guy is like my brewing hero. His hand sucks, but it's got double days. I think we keep it. We just crack through the baubles. We can take a look at our own deck here. I wish I had like an aggro. Let's see what they're drawing. They're drawing a Nile Spellbomb. That's a good card against us. I'm going to take a look at my own deck and see whether I want to draw this card. I don't. I'm just going to go ahead and ponder now. I probably will just daze the Nile Spellbomb because I've already put so much work into my graveyard. Gosh, I don't think we... Pyroblast is good. No, I need to find a threat pretty badly. All right, Pyroblast. That's great. So we got the card we wanted. So we get 2 cards. Bulk. DRC. All right, we got a threat. So everything so far has worked out great. We just need to stop this Nile Spellbomb. And I'm hoping that they only have 1 mana source, but when do they only have 1 mana source, you know? Come on. Let me daze your Nile Spellbomb, please. All right, so now they're a little closer to... They've got a lot of targets in there. Okay, so here we're going to actually double DRC. And then we've got double daze. This should represent a lot of triggers. And they shouldn't be able to clear our graveyard completely. It is tempting to keep Pyro, but we'll use Pyro to destroy something once it's out. Like they could put like a Tomio out. All right. So I'm going to fill my graveyard up like crazy if they go for this Nile Spellbomb. And I'm going to have to double freaking daze it, which sucks. It's just too strong. It's just too strong. I'm going to assume that we get through this. And I'm going to fill my yard. I'm going to stock this thing. We're throwing all our threats in here. If Nile Spellbomb resolves, it's catastrophic for us. Okay? Please don't force this. Please don't force this. Oh my goodness. All our threats going in there. Yeah, this is going to go in there. Yeah, we got 2 lands in hand. Please don't freaking force. They had the force. What a freaking... All right. That happens. They're not going to get any value off it there unless they are very disciplined and they take 6 here. Got the Merc. Let's go ahead and come in. Let's do our damage here. They're going to get their value off the Nile Spellbomb. Unfortunately, we don't have Stifle in our deck anymore. Yeah, we're going to lose a lot of stuff here. I've got Pyro. I'd love to Pyro something. They're at 10. Man, they're not even playing any like Urza Saga type cards this time around. Thoughtcast. I think I'm going to just get the 2-for-1 here. Get the selection. Yeah, I mean, it's 1 mana. We'll see if I find a card I do want. I'm going to keep this. Because I suspect they are about to nuke our graveyard and that can help us rebuild. Okay, they are now spellbombing here and they're going to draw a card. All right, we'll see how fast we can rebuild. Let's show the sheer force of DRC. The best 1-drop ever printed. Come on. Show me the path to Delirium. Bye-bye land. That's 1 type. Bolt. 2 types. Wait, should we bin this? I think we should. Let's shuffle. Oh, we can bolt them. And then yeah, this works out great. Delirium. And I don't want this land. That is so perfect. Like, I hope I'm showing you just how insane this card is. Like, they never should have printed this card. This is way too powerful. They're at 1. Okay, let's see what we can do here. My goodness. Come on, please let me double them. They get their card. Oh, thank goodness. Oh my goodness. This player is so skilled that like it doesn't really matter what they're playing. It's still terrifying. Price? I think Daze comes out though. We might want a price. That is a clear way to like do a lot of damage, like a big burst of damage. I don't think they're playing any basics. Did we trim the daisies? I think we do. Don't want to play a value game against them, but I kind of think we have. This consign is okay. I have Tomio in there, but we have, yeah, maybe we do play a few daisies. I think Price for Progress is going to be good. I don't think this land, I mean, there's a world in which like we're about the price and we're like too low and because we didn't have a basic to fetch. I don't know. I'm just going to like, we've been really good about not playing excess lands. This allows us to play another bolt. No, I don't want to play another bolt. I want to play another days. I do think that there will be windows. Yeah, I'm going to do it. All right. Please don't screw me on my draws. Like I've been very lucky with mulligans. It's rare that I beat Punishing Waterfalls. I beat him like maybe 1 out of 3 times I play him. This hand is cracked. Absolutely cracked. So we can do the Delver plus Bobble Trick. They mulled a 5. Oh, is this going to be one of the 3 times that the 1 and 3? That's a strong start. All right, Opal. All right, so Days is not as strong as it would have been. I'm going to Volk now, and I'll keep the fetch for later. We are going to... And I'm going to Bobble. And I'll just wait. I've got Days as my soul protection here. Okay. It's good to know about that. Is devastating against our deck. Okay, Strand. So we're going to draw first. And then we're going to peek. Okay, now let's see what we find. Yes! Brainstorm. I really, really, really want to find a Wasteland. My goodness, let me tell you. I think I just go in for the hug first. This way we have Pyroblast and Daze in case they try to interact. Like, let's go ahead and ponder here. I mean, if I brainstorm, I could shuffle one of these away. Yeah, if I find Meltdown, we almost certainly have to take a crack from the Shadow Spear. Do here. Like, I definitely have a card. Okay, this is fine. This second land goes back. This Daze goes back. I'm going to go ahead and DRC. It's just, does the Daze go back knowing that we're going to have... I think they're probably just going to invest in this for a turn. I think we could probably put back one of the blasts. Yeah, because I want to apply pressure. Yeah, I'm going to do that. All right, and we'll just see when they decide they want to crack this now Spellbomb. They're doing it now. Okay. They're drawing a card. That makes sense. They did take themselves off Opal there. Hopefully that's relevant. So Daze could be very live here if they want to make use of this and if they have anything to do. Okay, they're fetching. Next turn, we can just DRC and then we can immediately use the ability. Oh, that's so good. See how fast we can refill the graveyard. I will definitely want a Wasteland if I can find it. They may have Bowmaster. Ooh. I think we had to bin it, though. It's not what we're looking for. 6 damage is not as good as just hitting really hard with our DRC. Because I would have to forgo that stuff. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just ponder now. Yeah, because we have instant. Yeah, we'll get Delirium here. That goes in the graveyard too. I love just being able to bin lands. Okay, and we're just going to take this. Meltdown's good too. We'll do that next turn. So I'm going to go ahead and waste here, and then I'll melt them down next turn. Do I want them to be able to search? I think I just take them off of blue. This also prevents them from creating a second construct. Okay, they create the construct. Go ahead and bobble them, since I already know what's on top of mine. What the heck? Oh, this guy. Yeah, he's mediocre. All right, let's go in for 6 here. And we got Daze up. They can go get the Shadow Spear if they want, but we're going to melt. We'll have Pyroblast and Daze up to interact. I think we've got this one. They could get another Nile Spellbomb, which would be pretty good. But it's not going to save them because they're getting 3'd in the air. They probably just get Shadow Spear. And I won't take out the Shadow Spear. I'll just 0. That way I have Pyroblast up and Daze. Pedal. This could be Bowmaster. I'm not sure what... They could play the Bin Shock guy. Duckcast. I'm going to let that happen. They scooped. Scooped! They didn't even see the Meltdown. We had that covered so many freaking ways. What a great match. We're 3-0. Round 4, we're on the play against an unknown opponent. This hand is very land heavy. Oh, you're breaking my heart, deck. I mean, like, assuming they were able to, like, go get an island, Brainstorm, put back some land, shuffle those lands away. This hand is not bad, but it is not a great hand. But I'm not going to mull. This has Brainstorm. Brainstorm does a lot here. Let's keep it. I would love to get some pressure going. We have no idea what our opponent is on. They, like a year ago, were playing like a tempo deck. I don't want to lead with Volk and have it wasted, but maybe that's actually fine because we have so many. And then we save fetch for later. Yeah, I'll do that. Just floating this out there. If you want to waste it, please waste it. They've got this Narset, high kick Narset, which may mean they're on Jeskai. I think she is like a monk with the Jeskai color affinity. Even though, of course, the Narset Planeswalker everybody is familiar with is just mono blue. Okay. All right. Spell Pierce. Minor Misstep, which people have been playing. Holy cow, that card. Ah. Oh, man. The good news is we're going to go ahead and do this before they can. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I don't want to wait around. I want to get a threat on the table. Okay, this is quite good. So we're going to put back these cards that we don't want. Now we can fetch. I'm just going to ponder. I'm going to go ahead and see what they have first. I should have done this before I fetched. Okay, Brainstorm. That's not particularly descriptive. I will go ahead and just ponder now. I'm looking for threats. Delver is a threat, but it's a slow threat, and the rest of these cards are not exceptional. However, we are going to be able to draw through. I mean, next turn, we've just... Yeah, I think I keep this. And I'll just put Delver on the bottom just in case they like Thoughtseize me, because that's like my action. No, sorry, I'm still getting like the play patterns down. I think we want to put Bobble on the bottom. And then we'll take the Wasteland now. Oh, wait. We're going to take the Delver now because I forgot. We have the draw from the Ponder and the draw from the Bobble. Okay. Well, I screwed that up. Sorry, my excellent friends. It probably doesn't matter, but if they do have Thoughtseize, they're potentially going to be able to take our action. Okay, there's the basic. They're on Jeskai control. And Jeskai control is basically the hardest matchup for Delver. So, like, we're not going to win this. There's no way in hell. You can just skip to the next round. Don't watch me struggle through this. It would be an upset. But of course, like that black-green was an upset, but that was just my opponent running out of time. Yeah, there was no world in which, like, that black-green deck was like, we could play them 100 times and they'd win like 80% of the time. Because they're bobbling, they randomly see a Brainstorm. All right, everybody's playing this card like Brainstorm. I heard it's kind of good. Okay, so we get to draw. They have not seen our Wasteland. I'm kind of tempted to not show it to them. But I do want to make my land drop. I think it's better to not show them. I mean, there is a world in which they're... Why would they ping Bobble? Are they on Delver? They might be on just like a super slow Delver build. Because why else would you play Urza's Bubble? That means I think they're on Delver. So I'm going to start with this. I'm just going to take one more look at their top card. They're going to shuffle away probably. Force Will. Okay. No information gained. It's just the same cards that every blue deck plays. I guess I play at the Wasteland. It's possible that this is their only basic in the deck. If they're on Delver, I'm so happy because like that's like we can win the mirror. We're on the play. We are kind of advantaged in that regard. So we get our card here. It's an unknown. It's a good card. Assuming this isn't going to go give... Okay. I'm feeling a lot more like they're on Delver here. That's fine. Okay. I think... Do I just want to like wait here? Yeah, I'll let them make their decisions, then I'll bolt it. I am going to bolt it for sure. I want it out of the way. But I like to let my opponent make all the decisions first. Okay, and I am going to just bolt it now to be mana efficient so I can potentially mark next turn. Okay, and that was a nice clean. Great, and now we can hit this. Let's see what we find here. I could turbo. I'm going to be punished. Oh, okay, that's fine. That's not like what we're looking for, but it works out well. So the options here are, I think we just, and then we can Brainstorm. And I do think we go ahead and waste here just to minimize their options. We could wait until they fetched. Are they going to stifle this? Please attempt to stifle this. I will be happy to daze it. Oh, are you going to bolt something of ours? Now is not the time, friend. And we can replay that, I think. I'll put that in the yard. All right. And if they had a daze, actually, they could have... what they did was good if they had daze, but they didn't have... I'm going to play this out. We could go ahead and murk. Just put overwhelming pressure on the table. I don't hate it. If they had a daze, they would have used it. 1, 2, 3. I'll leave a ponder in the yard. It will not be as big as it can be, and we'll be able to easily turn Delirium back on next turn. Oh, they forced that. Bad news. Delver getting Delvered. You love to see it. Okay, so we are kind of vulnerable. I'm going to hit for 1 here. Our DRC is a 3-3 again. That was quick. Brainstorm. So they have a window to find a bolt with their own DRC, which I would just, kamikaze into. They have a lot of cards in hand, but this is what I was talking about. Our deck does not have card advantage. Let's see. Can they make a bigger one than us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoa, they can. They can make a huge one. Oh, no. That's not good. All right. That is very bad. Very, very bad. So we need... if we drew another Merc, it'd actually be really good because it could save this. It's the only thing we could do. The only way we can survive here. Let's see if we flip. Yeah, we might as well. Another DRC. No, I don't want to reveal that. And wow, we went from being in an inassailably strong position. So I don't want to play this other one. So I don't think they have daze here, but I don't want to get dazed. Yeah, I do think I have to just play this out, and I'm just going to go ahead and get some value out of this DRC before it rams his head into a dragon. Yeah, I'm going to bin this. If we find Borrower, it's okay. Okay, so I think what we do is we put this bobble back to, and then I am going to go ahead and just play out the Strand, and we're going to have all new cards. No, wait, I can't fetch this turn. Oh, no. I'm drawing a freaking bobble. That was dumb. That was so dumb. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play this out, and I'm just going to, but we're not going to flip, but our opponent doesn't know we're not going to flip. They might hang back and not attack us. But if they do attack us, we win. That's good for us. Yeah, this is so bad. So we're going to draw the bobble, and then we have to, it's not the end of the world, but it's it's a dead draw, essentially, and it's a turn where our Delvers don't flip. And if they find another Delver, or if they find another Merc, we totally lost this game from an insane position. We got so much value. It was crazy. And then, they had the card. I should have... I don't think I made any mistakes there with the dazes. They would have been able to play this. They played this with, daze mana up. They're just turbo. All right, please attack me. No dice. All right, we just need to find another Merc. We'll be all right. So unfortunately, this is not going to flip for the end turn. You're going to see what this is anyway. I'm going to go ahead and just bobble you now. I could have waited. They're going to draw Tomio. That's not good. That is very bad for us. Because now, Tomio can't profitably attack. They could have Stifle. By fetching now, we reduce the likelihood of them having Stifle. I'm going to do it. I just do not want to get Stifled and draw that DRC. This is our last Volk, by the way. So if they have double Wasteland, we are in pretty rough straits. We got a DRC anyway? That sucks. Okay. Oh, come on. Flip. It's not going to be enough, but it's better than nothing here. Oh, another Murktide. Okay, actually, this is fine. I'm not going to reveal it. I'm just going to hope that they don't... if they just daze at this point, it's game. Yeah, I'm just going to try it. Just going to try my Merc. Is there any way that this resolves? I don't think so. A daze stops it. They did waste us there. 1, 2, 3, 4. We still get a big dude. All right. So we're going to get a big dude regardless of whether they counter this. But if they have a bobble or a brazen borrower, that does it. They did daze. Okay. I cannot pay for that. But my Merc will grow. And I will attempt to beat you over the head with it. All right. We're getting the first crack in. Okay, they just sacked their... No, they have a freaking Brainstorm. Oh, okay, never mind. I think that was greedy. I think that I would wait for a turn, but maybe they're just you could have double bolts or something. They have a land. That's great for us. Oh, that's just a land that they got up days. Oh no, they have another freaking Murktide. We're dead. Okay, it's not actually as big as ours. It's like one smaller. But it could like double block. Okay, well, it's not good, but here. Brazen Borrower, the best draw on our deck. Delta. No, I don't want to reveal it. This is such an awkward game. So awkward. My goodness. I'm just going to play this out. And no reason to fetch here. We'll just chill. I mean, I attack. I actually kind of think I attack because I kill one of them. And then these potentially flip and we come in. If they're able to grow that, like what would they have to grow? I don't think they have a way to grow. I think I just chill. Because, yeah, I'm just going to chill. I'm not feeling good about my position. I've got 2 borrowers. They probably only have 1. Act like I have something to do here. This is a very interesting mirror here. Okay, so I'm going to upkeep. I'm going to go ahead and take a look with the first one, and then if I don't like it, I can fetch it. Chain Lightning. Yeah, I do want to reveal this card, and then I can just fetch it away. I don't think it's good enough. Let's see. 11. We attack in. We could kill them both. They have to respect that. Do we want to draw this card? So let's say hypothetically we attack. They have to block. They probably double block, and then we just bolt. And then we have 2 flip Delvers to kill them with. I think I'm here for this. So it's like a 2-turn line. And if this doesn't work, we still have plenty of blockers for their stuff. Wait, this doesn't kill. Oh, I did the math wrong. Oh, man. That was dumb. Do we want to go ahead and drop this DRC? It's a 3/3. We can sculpt a little bit. I can't actually sculpt this turn cycle. I'd have to next turn cycle. Just hang back. I think we just have to chill. Yeah, man, I feel so dumb. Like, I don't know how I screwed up that math. Sorry, my excellent friends. We're just going for the trophy and Be Excellent doing his Be Excellent math. Product of the American education system. All right, here we go. Red, bolt. That's fine. You want to come in for a hug? You can win this race. Go ahead and attack me. Oh, yeah. All right, I'll take it. I'm going to win this race. All right, Daze, not the best card here. Let's go ahead and come in for our hug. We could drop the DRC, but then like DRC plus this does kill them. I think it's fine. I don't want to stand still. They don't know that we don't have the ability to play another one. Like, I'm not going to hide. I'm not going to show the fact that I don't have... usually people will play like some sort of red source, like a Surveil land or something like that. Cori's fine. I could just daze the next spell if they have another spell. They don't. They can equip here. They are. Going to pay 2 and equip. That is fine. So it has trample. I'll just let it through. 6. We're going to hit them for... What? They didn't attack? Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to just draw. Well, that's not good. Okay. So I don't want to crack this ever. We could daze our own spell. I think we just chill for one more turn cycle. Because if I find an instant... Like if I get to daze something, that's really good. I don't think I'll get to daze something. Like, they have 4 lands. Come on, come in. No, they're being too patient. I've got 12 minutes on the clock. I really need to hurry. Okay, Chain Lightning number 2. So there is a chance that we bin something, but we don't have the ability to do anything beyond that. So I think I go post-combat, I just Chain Lightning them. So that way I don't have to smash my DRC in there. Then next turn, if this is delirious, I can do more with it. Wasteland, go in the yard. Okay, so we didn't get an instant, unfortunately. At this point, I daze like pretty much anything. Oh, they're copying it. Yeah, that might have been kind of dumb on my part. Maybe just a little. It didn't even occur to me that they could bounce that back. No, I'll just let it kill my Delver because I'm dumb. Oh my goodness, that was such a dumb play. Yeah, now they're going to be able to run away with this. I have nothing, no words. And we're about to lose our sole red source. So our hand does nothing. I don't know what we could draw here. We've got 1 blue in our deck. I think we've lost. Let's take a draw here. I can't believe we lost that game. I screwed up so bad. Like, we weren't going to win anyway. Like, they were going to waste us off our last source. Okay, so let's talk about post board. So these blasts come in for sure. The hydros as well. They're going to be able to do the same thing, though. That's not advantageous. We're going to take out the force negation. I'm going to take out the forces as well. We're on the play. Let's capitalize. Stifle, is that good? On the play, I think it's okay. It's probably actually one of the better matchups for it. Yeah, I'm just going to take out my forces completely. 6 blasts is probably more than they have. Usually people only play like 5. Let's play tight. This is a turn 1 DRC into turn 2 shenanigans. It might make sense to just drop the Delver first. Yeah, I'm going to drop the Delver so I can do the DRC in the same turn cycle. And I'm fine if they want to waste me with the Delver on board. Okay, there's a Bolt. That's fine. 1 for 1. They are up a card, though, because they're on the draw. Wasteland. I could waste them. I don't think that's... There's a saying, never waste Delver, but does that apply when you're also Delver? I don't want them to daze me. Now let's put this out. I've actually never thought about that. Like in the mirror match, do you waste them? I think you do. They have another Bolt. Oh, they have their own DRC. Okay, that's fine. So I'll just Bolt and the God Hand. All right. They put Cori in the yard. All right. And they're not cracking this. Well, hopefully they don't have force. Okay, they're cracking it. They're going to see what I'm going to draw. I'm going to draw a... Okay, daze is fine. They know about it. I'll go ahead and... see, I have a daze. There's no reason... Like, I can just chill and take it slow. I'm going to go ahead and then I can ponder if I need to. Otherwise, I can just hold it. Merc. Not really what we're looking for since we already have a DRC. We need to stop our opponent's Merc, though. I do need to ponder here just to make sure that I can... Okay, this will give us Delirium. Don't really want that. I need Blasts. These cards are fine. I don't want the... Yeah, I'm going to go like this. And now we can hit for 3, and we'll pass. And that's really all we want to be doing is just hitting for 3. Hopefully they don't have Daze and Merc in their hand. That would be bad. But Merc wouldn't be that big. Okay, they're passing. They know about our Daze. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just ponder so I can get rid of this land on top without having to... yeah, that goes in the graveyard. Okay, yeah, I want the Delver. I don't want the Misty. I think I could actually take this Wasteland. I want to play the Delver this turn, though. I guess I don't really care that much about the Wasteland, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this out. I'm going to attack for 3, and then I can just deploy this Delver, and then we can shuffle. But I just want to have lots of threats on board. There's a very real chance that they just have Merc this turn, but we can fetch and hopefully find a Pyro before they can kill our DRC. They're not doing anything here. That's interesting. All right, I'm going to wait. Now, I'm going to fetch because I know this top card is just like a bulk. All right, let's go ahead and see what we find. It is a Ponder. Yes, that's insane. Okay. They're going to blast or something like that. This is an opportunity for us to potentially find a Hydroblast. We've got a Ponder on top. I do want to keep this alive. Yeah, I could just put the Ponder in the yard and then dig to a Hydro. Okay, there's another Delver, which is fine. So what I'll do is I'll just put these 2 on top and then I'll play my Delver. So you did it. Oh, I drew that for turn. But I still have one on top. So as long as... Well, I can just keep it on top. But I do want to keep hitting them with my Delvers. And with double Bolt, does mean they're like dead next turn. If this will flip. So if they don't have more creature interaction, they're dead. But like, why wouldn't they have creature interaction? They probably have like Brazen Borrower. Okay, so I will reveal the Bolt. Now are they going to Bolt or Blast again? They are. That's fine. I'm going to keep this Bolt just because they're so close to death. All they need to do is like fetch, and like they'd have to fetch twice, but that would kill them. Oh my goodness, they have a Bolt. Yep. I should have bolted twice just to get card selection. That was a misplay. That was dumb. Okay, now we're starting to draw bad cards because I'm dumb. All right, please fetch. They know I have a Bolt in hand, so they're being very patient and deliberate. And being the better Delver player, I'm going to go ahead and Merc here. Let's go Brainstorm, Ponder, Brainstorm. This is almost certainly going to get bolted, by the way. 4. Yeah, we do want to do full size just in case I can worry about getting Delirium later. I have double days, and we can bolt them, and then we can bolt them again next turn if they... I'm just going to pay for it. I already passed priority, unfortunately, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to pay for that. Would you like to fetch? All right, so if I force them to fetch here, then we're to do so, but now they have to fetch, and now they're dead to double bolt. I don't think they have a way to gain life. Unfortunately, they are going to successfully stop my Merc. And if they have the ability to counter one of these, I'll play this back out. Now he's a window to go ahead and bolt them, and they could daze it, and then we lose. I could also wait. They might have yeah, I'm going to go ahead and bolt them now. Because I can, okay, that worked. All right, so next turn they're dead unless they have a Hydroblast or a Force of Will. Pondering is fine. We're reducing the amount of mana they have. They have a land in hand, we know that. They don't have any threats on the table. I think they're going to probably find a Hydro. They just play out a land and they're good, like to pay for my days. I want them to try to get on board. Like I've been the aggressor this entire time, but like I feel like I'm just a Merc away from death. Okay. They're down to 2 cards. So it has to be Force Blue card. I'm going to play the DRC first. Okay, we got there. That did not feel good. I was playing like crap. My goodness, the fact that I didn't use DRC on the way out was a huge mistake. Okay, so on the play, I think we keep the same configuration on the draw. Just hope that we can get through with all the blasts and stuff. I don't think Force is correct. I'm not going to cut any lands. Wasting Delver was probably relevant there because we did draw days. I think we wasted them once, and ultimately, like, yeah, I'm not sure. This is a great hand. Holy cow, this is an insane hand. So this is an offensive hand, and we're on the draw. So we really need for them to... They mold. That's good for us. So we're going to be basically up 2 cards because they mold, and we didn't mold. Preordained. They're playing, like, a lot of cantrips. I think they're playing, like, 2 Preordains, which Preordain is just... It's a pretty terrible card against, like, Delver, or against... Oh, yeah. Put it in my veins. I think that's what... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play this out. The DRC is definitely better. And if this gets killed, it's fine. We've got lots of land. So they're not going to be able to waste us out of this. We can potentially take care of their DRC if they have one. They do. They are going to get the first trigger, though. Oh, yeah. They're going to Value Town here. They've been at Wasteland. Do they already have a Wasteland, or they just have enough land drops? Or maybe they've come to the conclusion you shouldn't waste over that I refuse to accept. All right. Let's go ahead and see. They draw. Let's see what we flip here. Oh, we don't want that. They've already seen it. Okay, we've got 6 minutes. I need to play quickly. Okay, so since they already know about it, I think it makes sense to just play it out. I want to get this Delver off the table. I can bolt it. If this doesn't work, this has to go. Okay, that's a great win for us. I'm going to go in for 1. I probably could have played that up, but I was really worried that daze. I'm actually okay if they daze this. I'm going to play it out. If they just jam like a giant Merc, I've got a Merc that I can use to get back. I think they're going to daze here. Yeah, maybe I didn't need to play into that since I have so much land. I probably should have just played slower. Yeah, I think that was a punt on my part. Yeah, and if they have another one, I have a bolt, but it's not... Yeah, they do... Oh, they just bolt our dude. Yeah. I mean, we're up cards. We can Merc soon, but they're going to have a bigger Merc. We only have 1 card in the graveyard. I might... No, I'm not going to just yeet landing at their face. I need to kill a creature. But we saw last game, like, Chain Lightning becomes a liability. We could fetch. That is technically Merc. I don't want it to get dazed. I'm going to wait a turn cycle. Again, they're at 3 cards. We can be a little more patient here. I would love to find a Brainstorm before I use this fetch. Okay, Cori is annoying. And if they can proc it, it's pretty bad for us. They're fetching. Yeah, this is going to be a problem throughout the game unless they just run out of Brainstorm is very good with Cori. All right, we're going to let that happen. We just passed under 5 minutes here. I think it's worth just bolting this out of the way. They won't necessarily have answers at every turn. We're taking an organic draw here. Ah, so bad, so bad. Oh my goodness. Well, I am going to just bolt them and Merc and hope that it's big enough. I mean, sadly, I think that's the correct line. And yeah, so they take it. And now I'm just going to go get another Volk. And ideally, I don't want to play this out because I might be able to brainstorm it later. This is so bad. We're in like a horrible position. 6/6 Merc? Yeah, it's not the end of the world. Like they have to have a brain. But I mean, if they had their own Merc, that's the end of the game probably. Because 4, yeah. It'll be bigger. Oh, Pyroblast. Breaking my heart. Okay, and they are flooded as well, which is Cold Comfort. Come on, give me a Brainstorm. No, this sucks. I'm holding it. I'm not going to waste a Wasteland on them. They have one card in hand. They're fetching. Do they have a Surveilling in their deck? I don't think so. They just have Steam Vents. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, usually you don't want to play it. Some decks do. I can see with the Cori build. Oh my goodness. And just like that, the game's over. Like they're going to be so far ahead. This can give it haste. Oh, they just have another one? Oh no, they're just equipping it. But that gives it haste. So they immediately the thing. Yeah, I think we lost. They're like doing a bigger thing than we're doing. We're doing like tempo-y. And also they're not punting left and right as far as I can tell. Like I have been. Give me a bolt. Good games. Good games. There's no way we're coming back. Because they've got a clue every turn and they can proc this and stuff. Yeah, man. Sloppy play. Sloppy play. I think, playing into Days was a huge punt. Game 3. All right. Our opponent has a history of playing oops all spells, but they kept that hand so quickly. I'm going to keep this. This hand is insane. They are from Hawaii, apparently. Kauai West. And they did the cool like 90s like Xbox Live profile has X on both sides of it. All right, Tommy. We don't have a clear answer. We have a a borrower that can deal with her after she's flipped. It looks like we're in like the pseudo mirror. Like they could be on. I mean, usually this is only in red, blue, red. Like you shouldn't play this. You should play Nile Spellbomb in black. So I'm confident they're on blue, red. They're going to see that we're on blue, red as well. We do have Days. I need to stick this DRC. That's a good draw. Oh my goodness. I think DRC is better. It doesn't. Yeah, it's. But no, wait. They're not going to have Bowmaster. Yeah, I'm just going to go get my. I could get my island and Durdle. Oh my goodness. I kind of think we should. They're definitely a tempo deck. Call me a coward. I totally understand. But like our entire hand just collapses if they waste. And they've already seen this, so there's a compelling argument for just playing that out. They're going to get clues. They're going to get really far ahead. This card's really broken. I didn't want to play it. It's kind of antithetical. Like, tempo is being pulled in 2 different directions. It's being pulled in the Tomio direction, which is a very strong direction. Okay. We're just going to ponder. That's fine. I'm not going to daze that. Like, that's bait. Okay. And we'll never know whether we should have dazed that. And that maybe that's the land they found off of it. Daze will be valuable later at some point. If they have like a second cantrip, I probably will daze just because I don't want her to flip. Okay. And it doesn't look like... Whoa. It's just Lightning Bolt. I'm going to keep him alive. You want to blow me out? We are getting Tomio valued. And like them being on the play just exacerbates everything. Okay. Let's see what we can rip here. I mean... I do think we get on with DRC. We're actually pretty close to Delirium here. We got a second one. But if they have a waste, that's a bummer. Okay, we're in. They may waste us here, which would be a bummer. But we do have 2 lands to Brazen Borrow this back to hand. Okay, they just replay the... All right, they're coming in. They are already up 2 cards on this. This is already a 2-for-1. It'll be a 3-for-1 when we remove it. Unfortunately, we're unlikely to end the game before. What the heck? Come on with that art. Yeah, we are getting Delvered on the draw. Okay, so we do have the option of just going for this, but then they can just braze. Yeah, and I should have played the freaking island. I think this was a misplay. I can waste that and take them off the ability to crack clues, though. We're so close to, like, I probably could have just brainstormed and, yeah, they had another one. So I don't think that ponder was for land. They get clue number 3. If they flip her, it's actually good because I have Brazen Borrower and they'll have invested energy in flipping her, but not if they have like a day's, then it's not good. Their own DRC. Okay. Well, I'll probably just bolt that. That will put the sorcery type in my yard so I can clock for more. Yeah, I think we get this out of the way and we just keep clocking, and maybe they don't ever have time to, if they daze my Delver, it's not the end of the world. Force is not where we want to be at this point. It's not good in this matchup. They have Force blue card. What? Okay. Well, that's not good. So we're going to have to crash our DRC into theirs. They get their Surveil. Okay. I'm just going to come in and then they might take the trade. I'm ahead on life. They are hellbent though, but they have all these clues to crack. So yeah, that's really bad. All right. I'm going to play with the Delver. We are in a very, so it may look like we're okay, but we're not. These clues are going to be so valuable. I am definitely considering just aggro flipping Delver because like a non-flip Delver just feels so pathetic here. Yeah, I'm going to get a no value brainstorm. Call me freaking crazy. If we find like a Wasteland, it's pretty good because we can waste them off this last land. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm going to do it like this. Please don't have some other insane thing. My goodness. Like you got one card. You've already bolted 2 of my threats and killed another one in combat. Yes, I would like to reveal this. Okay, now we get to draw it. I'm going to go ahead and go for this. And then I can force if they have a bolt because I need to get a clock going. They have a freaking bolt? You're kidding me. Are they going to try to do the daze trick? They can't do a daze trick because they only have 1 card in hand. Okay, they're just going to crack a clue. That I will allow. Okay, and now we have to hope that they didn't find a land. Please don't find a freaking land. My goodness. I've wasted you twice. No, wait, I only wasted them once. No, I did waste them twice. Yeah. Tomio can keep creating clues. I think I actually force a cantrip here. It's as weird as that sounds because I need to keep them from finding land so that they can cash in the card advantage they're generating. And I just have to keep hitting them. I'm drawing a fetch, which sucks, but it does allow like maybe because I can bounce something and play this out as a threat. Okay, they're going to continue to create clues here. If it is a brainstorm, I will force it because I definitely don't want her to flip. And for them to get the cards, I'm sure they have a land. Oh, a Delver? Yeah, that's fine. I can just bounce the flip Delver. I just need to do damage. That's fine. They can use the Delver trick to flip. I am in the driver's seat as far as life is concerned. I just bounce their dude, and then I can play Borrower a subsequent turn. And that can all be done around days. And I am going to definitely play around days. My goodness. I'm so shook from the previous round when I played that DRC into an early days when I had like 3. The tempo is deceptively hard to play because you do need to like know when to slow down, when you should go balls to the wall. They screwed up there. They should have just done themselves. They could have like dramatically increased the likelihood of flipping. They'll probably get lucky and just flip anyway, knowing my luck. They didn't. Okay. Did they find a land? Yes, they did. Okay, they're attacking. They're creating yet another clue. This game should be over before they've cashed those in. I'm so tempted to just put my freaking Borrower out there. I think it's a mistake. Bobble yourself during my turn. No! Use the bobble trick. Okay, so they're just ripping through that. Gosh! Well, this does allow us to play Undazable. Oh, man. I don't know if we do it. If this dies, we're like so far behind. If they have a bolt. Okay, so... But this freaking... Yeah, I think what I do is I do play it out. Like there's a world in which they have double days. It seems so sneaky. And also keep in mind, like if we have one more land, we could, in theory, like force something they do. This flips Tommy. I can just wait for this to happen, and then I can borrow and they'll have already made their decision around what to brainstorm. That doesn't mean that they're going to have a flip Delver, but I don't want them to be able to debuff. And if they're spending mana to recaster, that's mana they're not using to crack. They know one of my cards in my hand is a force though. So let's go ahead and just, it's really devastating if they counter this. Now we can play this in 2 turns. They are going to be able to flip this and go on defense though. And they should, because they have everything to gain by just dragging the game out and cracking more clues. Wow, they didn't have it. That's crazy. Tommy's back. I will take the 1. It's possible they have like a... Oh, they have another brainstorm here. Yeah, that sucks. This debuffs. And now we can't really afford to just ignore them. We do kind of have to attack Tommy here. And they get a perfect brainstorm too. Man, I'm so jealous. I wish I could draw another brainstorm. I did get 1. Who knows what kind of good stuff they have in their hand right now. Could be bolts. Ponder. That's fine. Now they've got all the mana they need. So we can bring this in just as an attacker, but it's not going to be... Tomio can also just minus and go get a bolt. I am tempted very much so to just fetch the Thin because I already have the thing to... I would love a brainstorm. Okay, DRC is not bad. Oh man, I want to be able to play this out, but like, what are the odds? I mean, they just brainstormed twice. Would they have a daze? I think I'm going to go ahead and attack Tommy. We're in like such a dire situation. Like they're so low in life, but it's not going to matter if they can just crack clues and 1-for-1 us over. I do need to attack Tommy. It's a fool's errand to go after the life total here. I don't think it's correct. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play both of these out in the turn cycle just to minimize the chances that they have a daze. Because like, why would you keep a daze at this point? Like when I have 4 lands out, and hopefully they don't have like some sort of sweeper type effect. I can't imagine what they would have. Please don't tell me you have a daze in your hand. Holy cow. Why would you have a daze in your hand? I don't regret that at all. I think like, why would you have a daze? I have 4 freaking land. Why would you keep daze in your hand when you are not flipping your Delver? I don't understand. Delver still doesn't flip. What are you doing over there? Oh my goodness. I feel like, man, I feel like they're toying with me. Why would you play like this? Okay, and here is like the bolt for one of them and the bolt for the other, and then we're just scooping. Yeah, there's the 3rd bolt of the game. I don't know why they didn't flip this yet. They have another Delver. I have to keep attacking Tomio. It sucks. Come on, give me a Merc or something. Brazen Borrower. I will just draw through this, I guess. Okay, Brazen Borrower. They're going to draw a Brazen Borrower, which, do I even want to keep playing? I don't think I do. I mean, you could say like, oh, you could have done a ton of damage to them, but they can just regrow the bolt and kill my dude, and then they can Tomio me. I like, this feels so hopeless. I can't stand this card. I can't wait for them to ban it. I wanted to play a league without it, but I will. The next league will probably be blue-black tempo, and of course I'm going to play it in that. Because blue-black tempo is kind of like the control gamer. Oh, we finally got a brainstorm. That's nice. But am I supposed to force a freaking Brazen Borrower? I don't think I'm supposed to. I think what I need to do is probably just brainstorm and find some other card to force with. That's fine. It's probably worth being mana efficient here just in case. No, I want to draw 1 extra card. I'm just so tilted by that daze. It's like so tilting that they had a daze at that point in the game. Like a bolt would be nice. Wasteland's pretty terrible. All right. So they're doing this after I've drawn, which at least let's see an extra card here. I am going to see if I can find. Okay. So I think I just forced this and then which sucks, but then we still have the Delver. Alternatively, we just let it go on top. I feel like we're going to lose so much momentum. We have to kill her. But then, yeah, I mean, maybe we just find a second bolt. Yeah, I think we just have to find the second bolt. I think that's our only path forward here. We have a lot of bolts in our deck. I'm going to put this force back. Okay, that works. You're at 6 life. I'm going to attempt to ponder. I know that Most of these cards are jank. I'm going to any order shuffle. Please give me a second bolt. Holy cow. So freaking lucky. My goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. And this, again, like, I feel like this game should have been over a long time ago. I don't know why my opponent played the way they did. It doesn't feel so satisfying to have won knowing that they probably punted like 20 times during that game. I don't know. That's an exaggeration. They punted like once or twice. I mean, and then, yeah, I don't know. It feels weird. Sorry. It's been a long league, and there have been a lot of fun moments, but them having days at that point just doesn't make any rational sense. But I mean, maybe they were just level systeming me, and they're like, they're never going to expect me to have days right now. Any cards we keep? I think we keep everything. Like, just forces out. We can't go down on cards, like, especially not on the draw. I don't think they're going to roll over us. They're a slower deck. They're probably playing. They might be playing Cutter. I will give myself credit for like seeing the line. Oh, I can just double bolt them. There's 6. Like, I'm not an experienced Delver player, and like I was so tunnel visioned on like how am I ever going to get rid of this Tomio that it's like, oh wait, yeah, I can just bolt them. I've got 6 bolts in my deck. And I will say that like I just want to defend my action. I think it was very reasonable to assume they wouldn't have the days, and it was necessary to just apply pressure to get Tommy off the table. Their Delvers were going to flip at any moment. And so again, I hope that doesn't seem like I'm like being too defensive about it, but like I think it was very rational to go ahead and play into it. I'm just like being gaslit by the fact that like they had so many cantrips, and why would they have a days in hand? I believe they had a chance to shuffle. Also, a quick note about my opponent's name. Kawaii only has one eye, so I guess they're referring to the Japanese word kawaii, which means cute. Okay, this is the perfect do not keep hand. My goodness, what the heck? I mean, actually, it's okay in the sense that we can just do a slow roll out of Delvers. But I don't know. It feels really meh. Like, if they are really impatient, we can capitalize. But, like, 3 days is on the draw. They mull. They're too low curve. I'm going to mulligan this. Okay, this is much better. So, oh, they mulled a 5? Yeah, we're going to keep. At this point, I think we put back. When they're at 5, I think maybe keeping Wasteland is fine, but I just not really here for it. Like, I don't feel like that's correct. Yeah, I'm not going to keep the Wasteland. I'm going to probably like try to like slowly ramp this out, like fetch, and that can represent a Valk for subsequent turns, unless they just force our hand with some like turn 1 Tomio stuff. Looks like they are. No, they're pondering. All right, that's a relief. Your Delver opponent mulling twice on the play is definitely good vibes. And we can't afford to be wasted off a color, so I am going to just this out here. Yeah, we don't have anything to do with the DRC, and I would be so embarrassed if it got dazed. I don't want them to daze me at all. Please play Cutter. That would be so insane. I would love to Hydroblast something. Okay, I'm going to attempt to blast that. And this will likely just get dazed. They have already not played out a Wasteland here, and I don't want them to get any value. And we can just bolt it next turn if they daze here. Wow, that worked. Holy cow, they're down to 3 cards. Okay, and we took out their creature. Murk is still a big concern, but we do have 4 Pyros in our deck. So here what I think we do is we just go ahead and play out the DRC, and then we can get value off it at least if they do something to interact. If they bolt, I will happily attempt to Hydro it, and I'll at least get a Surveil. And like when you're playing against like Delver Mirrors, my experience is like every little incremental advantage you get matters. Okay, so red. Yeah, I'm going to attempt to Hydro that. And you didn't have days last turn. This turn, because I want to keep this alive. Pyroblast is very much something. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It feels good to have the game break our way for once. Okay, and they have yet another land. All right. What is this? They could have Cutter here. It wouldn't trigger. Oh, they have another one. Okay, well that sucks, but we did get some value. They're down to 1 card. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and ponder, and I'm going to look for some sort of threat. These are not good enough. Let's any order shuffle this. Threat, please. Wasteland. I do think we just waste one of their lands. I can brainstorm next turn. I mean, it can feel futile wasting them, but keep in mind, they haven't been dazing me We do have 4 days still in our deck that we can draw. They have their Wasteland. Okay, that's not good. Okay, yeah, I should have floated. I will just bolt that, and I'll hold else, but I do need to find a land here. There's a very real risk that we just whiff. We've got 1, 2 lands represented. We've got, that means we have 4 lands. I have 9 fetches in the deck, so I've got an extra fetch. We do want to get rid of this Brazen Borrower, I think. Even if we get Brainstorm locked, at least we're 1 card deeper into our deck. I think it's worth it. Okay, that paid off handsomely. We don't need this Brazen Borrower. With the Pyroblast, I don't really care about Brazen Borrower. It is more expensive, and they will likely win. I'm going to put the Borrowers back. If they just rip Runner Wastelands, we could get wasted off red. Okay, and they found a Merc, which will just... Our own Merc would be great. Normally, I'd be terrified, but wow, what a draw. So we can do this, and we can get value on the way. Ponder is an above-average draw. This can help us find an answer to whatever they do next turn, if they do anything. Wasteland would probably be pretty decent here. Fallout Merc is not going to actually stop our DRC. They just scooped. That was the 4-1 with classic Delver. Let's take a look at this beautiful deck. Chain Lightning came up a lot. These mirror matches are very tricky. I'm embarrassed that I lost that mirror match. I would have loved to have had a trophy here, but this deck felt great. Never cast Stifle. I'm not convinced this is a good card. Frankly, we're almost always tapped out, and like late game, it's like, ugh. I mean, like, this could easily just be like a Tamio. Get rid of Delver completely, play Tamio. But then you're not playing Classic. And when I say Classic, I mean like pre-Modern Horizons 3. We're not playing any Modern Horizons 3 cards in the entire deck, except for Consign, which is a concession to the ridiculousness of Karnforge. You could yeah. I mean, this could be another Chain Lightning. One card that a lot of people play is Unholy Heat, but Unholy Heat wouldn't have won us the game against Tamio, I don't think. It would have killed Tamio, but it would not have closed the game because you can't target your opponent. So I did a version of this where I was playing 4 Chain Lightning, and that I trophied with it, I think. It was pretty strong. But that was before the meta shifted so much. I just wish they had another 1 mana, like insane Delver or DRC. I don't think the Stifle belongs. I don't think that 2 Force Negation is correct either. We boarded these out every single game. So yeah, I'm not sure what belongs in that slot. I mean, this is 2 cards. Like, you just fill up the deck with Chain Lightnings. It's fine. You do lose some blue count doing that. I'm not sold on Stifle, but Stifle could just randomly be insane in some situations. Maybe it just didn't come up in this league. One of the things about having the Force Negation in the main deck, like, this is not a main deckable card, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, like, the problem is, if you increase the number of threats, you decrease the efficacy of Delver flips. And what one of our opponents was doing was preordain. And that's actually not that bad until you get paired against freaking Delver, or freaking Blue-Black Reanimator, or Blue-Black Tempo is the main one that plays Bowmaster. And then you're just like... I really like this art. This is like the Metalcraft one. Yeah. I mean, you could just split it. You could play a pre... Oh, wait. Why would I play that when I've got a retro? Yeah. So you could probably do like... Split it with like... Spell Pierce is fine. It's not always live, but it's a surprise. And it is soft remission, which leans into the Days Wasteland field you're putting up. It's got Tamio before she was like an OP Planeswalker. Tamio and Kaito before they became big, right? This is like the throwback. This is like the equivalent of watching like the garage demo of Tamio and Kaito before they dominated the format. And then I like Spell Pierce so much more as a main deck card than Force Negation, but you probably do need to have Force Negations in the side. So you probably go down to like 3 Pyroblasts, and then you bring in like Force Negation here. And I do think 2 is probably, like, you want 6 Force Negations in your 75. Just out of respect for, you get paired against Killaby or somebody like that, and they run over you. But then it's like, okay, well, if I'm doing that, like, 1 Consign? I mean, I could go to 0 consign, I guess. And then go down to 2. Like, I really do believe 6 bolts is plenty. You could play like 1 Unholy Heat. What I think you should do is not play Preordain, and you should just play two Unholy Heats. Like, Unholy Heat's such a good card. It's not even funny. I wish it could target... It's just creatures with planeswalkers, but I mean, like, 6 damage. This is going to clear a Tamio. Unless she's, like, right there at the brink of going off. But this is completely dead against, creatureless decks. And that's why I feel like it's a sideboard card. So, I mean, what you could do is you could just put one of these in the sideboard and then... But that still leaves, like... I mean, the other thing is you could just play 2 Spell Pierces. I'm not sold on that either. I think Preordain is just bad, though. I wouldn't play it. So, yeah, I mean, like, if I were to play another league, I guess I would probably do a split like this. Yeah, I think I maybe just do the third one. Let's see our blue count. 27 blue cards. I mean, like, people do, oh, it's plenty. But, like, every blue card, as I frequently say on the Be Excellent channel, every single blue card helps. Like, if you can make your deck mono blue, you should. Like, I don't think Fire Ice is where you want to be, though. Fire Ice is a very flexible card. I mean, you could play... It's 2 mana, though. And, like, the thing is, this deck... Like, you saw a lot of those games ended when I had, like, 1 land. Or usually I have 2 lands. But, like... Yeah, you don't want to be going deep in lands, in my experience. The other thing is you could cut a Merc, and then that gives you like a slot for like a Tommy or something where you can still flip your Delvers. Again, most people are playing 24 sorceries in instance. I insist on playing 25 just to maximize the probability. This does result in like let's say hypothetically somebody wastes you completely off of Valk, then that's shut off 11 cards in your deck, and that's a lot. But I still think that, like, if you want to play Classic, this is fine. So this is probably where I leave it. Like, again, Spell Pierce is pretty good. It's going to be relevant late into the game. It's good against almost every deck in the format, except for, like, the mono white piles, like the Warp deck and stuff like that. And you can occasionally get, like, a Plow or something off it. You can potentially get a turn 1 Vial against, like, Death and Taxes. Let me bring the whole deck up one more time. Yeah, so I think this is probably where I'd leave it with the Unholy Heats on the side. Do you really need Unholy Heat on the side when you've got 3 chain lightnings, though? I don't think I think you probably play 8 consign. Or, like, frankly, Force Negation is such an underrated card. Like, it's just so good against Oops. So good against so many different decks. I beat Oops last night. I wasn't playing, but I had 4 Force Negations in my sideboard and made it trivial. I was like playing Oops in paper with my Blue Painter deck. And just having 4 Force Negations and being able to, like, Force Negation the discard spell and then play my, Tormod's Crypt that I mulligan to. That won the game. Yeah. I don't know. I loved having 4 Pyros. I mean, Pyro is so good. So maybe you trim that and then you're just... I think this is the original configuration. Yeah. No, this had... yeah. I think this is how I do it and just not playing any consigns. Having the extra Chain Lightning... You definitely feel it when you're like drawing these, and like when you already have the Delver out, Chain Lightning is practically a ponder because it's like you're getting the Surveil and you're getting to do a bunch of damage. It's great. So yeah, I think this is probably what I would play. Like I think 4 is probably a trap. I really don't like paying mana for my counter spells, but Misdirection is so limited in its applicability. The other thing you could do is before Cutter got printed, a lot of people were doing Rug, and they were playing Questing Druid, which is an awesome card. And so you could just do that. I do like the simplicity of not having to worry about drawing your and we don't have to worry about drawing Trop. I mean, you could, in theory, like our opponent in the final round was actually playing Steam Vents just to have yet another blue-red source. And you could do that, but I prefer to just play 9 fetches because, like, remember that Brainstorm at the very end? Like, having that 9th fetch may have very well been the difference between being Brainstorm locked and just not being Brainstorm locked. You never want to be Brainstorm locked. So I think 9 fetches, and it was great because, the thing about fetches, you just float it out there, and it's like Wasteland proof. It's a dual land, but for one turn cycle, it's wasteland proof. They can't waste you. And then you fetch it, and then you have your dual land. And then you're technically wastable, but like they're wasting after the fact, and it's more of a tempo setback and stuff. Yeah, but these did feel clunky because we were just going so scrappy, and like it got dazed when I played it. That was so embarrassing. But yeah, overall, really fun league. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I have tons of thoughts. I really enjoy this type of tempo deck. While you're here, I strongly encourage you watch some of my blue-white tempo. Let me show you that. Blue-white cats. This deck's so fun. Like this is like a pet card. I'm not sure that this is actually good. It is aggressively costed considering all the text on it and everything, and it pitches to force. But this Ocelot Pride Guided Souls combo is the real deal. Like they are 2 1-drops that are like Delver and like DRC, in the sense that like you play them turn 1 and you just protect them with Day, and they win the game pretty quickly, just like DRC does. It's not as good as DRC, but still. And neither of these pitch for force. You know, Delver does pitch for force, which is, yeah. Like check out, like I've got a trophy one and I've got a 4-1 where it's like super duper close in the final. Like you'll see. But like I love this deck particularly, and I'm going to be playing a lot more tempo. While you're here, I'll just give you my theory on tempo. Okay, why is tempo so strong at this point? It's because almost all the decks in Legacy either kill you really quickly, like Sneak and Show, or Doomsday, or Blue-Black Reanimator, or they just amass massive advantage, like Carnforge and 12 Posts and decks like that have so much inevitability that like if the game continues to go on, you will lose. So you need to be able to survive the early turns, and you need to be able to close quickly. And that is where tempo reigns supreme. And I think there are really 3 tempo options, maybe 4. And those 4 options are, you know, this is just my opinion. Like this is a strong deck. Nobody else is playing this. But like I've got a pretty good win rate with it. And then of course, blue-black tempo, which here, is this the list? Yeah. This is probably the best tempo deck, frankly. You don't want to play main deck Baragoyf because it gets reanimated. So you'd want to like play Merc instead. But this is pretty similar to like, just check out INF. He's the tempo master. And then, of course, Delver, which we just played, classic Delver, I think is fine. Blue-red, very simple. And even the Rug version that just splashes to be able to cast the Questing Druid is fine. And then the other one would be Cutter, which I don't even know if I have in here. But Cutter is definitely like a legit tempo option. I've tried the blue-green variants. They suck. Don't bother with it. So it is really just those 3 different archetypes. But you're going to see a lot of those. Also, I'll shout out this channel, True Tempo. I think he just started posting recently, but he's like just tempo. INF, check out INF's channel. It's it's on YouTube. He doesn't talk because he's Japanese, and I think he can speak English. Like I've corresponded with him in English. So I've never had a conversation, but it's just audio. It's like music, and then you just watch him play. But that's good. And then Curdy is awesome. Check out Curdy. He's like criminally underviewed. He is very good at tempo. And then you'll find other players, like obviously like Bosch and Roll can play tempo really well, and players like that. But I just want to shout out those 3, INF, Curdy, and True Tempo. Again, new, hopefully sticks with it. And then of course he doesn't need me to shout him out because he's already quite popular. But Echo Baronin, I think, does a lot of Delver videos, and he's a very good player as well. So that's some watching. Of course, I've got like 200 plus videos on the channel. Probably at least like 70 of them since the last ban announcement. So you can just have at it and understand the current meta and everything and watch a lot. But I really do hope you're enjoying these leagues. I'm having a blast recording them. I'm going to keep doing it. If you become a member, you get access to my channel, like all my videos basically immediately. I've got like 5 or 6 videos queued up that'll just drop over the next few weeks. You don't have to wait. You can just go in and watch them all, like all my recent trophies and stuff. I've got those leagues up. And yeah. Just keep checking them out, and I hope you enjoy learning from my punts and hopefully playing tighter when you get the chance to sit down and play. And I hope you have a fantastic day. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.